Throughout time, there have been men to whom justice has been more important than life itself. From these ranks come 4 men, prepared to fight valiantly on the side of justice wherever the need may be. Joined together in this cause, they are the 4 Just Men.
Ted Fenimore out all last year with nerves. This year, he fights back to become America's big hope for the international championships at Wimbledon next month. It's just too good to be true.
Why don't you let up on Fenimore?
Sorry. You're his coach, but me, I've got no interest in him except as material for my column. And all American boys make dull copy for a sports column.
Who's calling who names, Miss High Almighty, Katie Peterson? It's right here, right in the papers about Ted Fenimore and how he's going to get married.
I don't believe you. You're just an ugly liar. Ted wouldn't do that. Ted's my friend.
Mr. and Mrs. H. Bradford Collins announced the engagement of their daughter, Lorraine, to Mr. Theodore Fenimore. Always following him around, mooning like a sick cow. Who's going to be your friend now?
Hi, what's all the excitement?
Hi, Katie. What a mess. In a few minutes, I've got enough grease on me to lubricate a battleship. Why so cheery?
The paper. I've just seen it.
You did? What do you think of it? Me getting married?
No.
Hey, what's the matter? What's there to cry about? You should be happy for me.
You said you'd wait for me.
Sure, but... Well, that was just... Well, just...
You promised!
Cut it out! Cut it out!
I'll get even with you. I'll get even. Just you wait and see.
Okay, Mom, I'll get it. Why, Mr. Peterson? What is it?
You no good, indecent. Don't try to act innocent, young man. My little daughter, Katie, told me.
What's the matter with you? You're acting crazy.
You won't get away with it. I'll see to that. You won't look so innocent when the police get here.
What are you talking about? What's happened to Katie?
Would you please tell us what this is all about, Mr. Peterson?
Don't ask me, ask him. Maybe he'll tell you what happened to Katie. I've called a doctor.
It's all right, Mom. It's just some stupid mistake.
Mistake! A torn dress and bruises are no mistake. That's evidence.
Good heavens, Mr. Peterson. Ted wouldn't do it.
Oh, wouldn't he?
Look, Mr. Peterson, everybody around here knows me.
They will now. I'll see to that. And that they put you where you belong. Big athlete. Attacking children and men older than yourself. That's typical of fellows like you. That'll be the police. I intend to make this neighborhood a safe place for decent people if it's the last thing I do. Officer, I'm Peterson. It was my little girl. I'm the one who called you.
You're the boy that did it.
Well, that's all that happened, according to Ted. Oh, but I couldn't help getting panicky, Mr. Ryder. It upset him so. I didn't know where to turn until I thought of calling you. I can't tell you how grateful I am.
Oh, wait till I've done something before you thank me.
It's all in the little girl's imagination, I'm sure of it. But you can't reason with her father. Why would she say such terrible things?
Well, the neighbors must know something.
Neighbors simply don't want to get involved. Ted tried to talk to them last night, this morning. They practically slammed their doors in his face.
Well, do they know the doctor found nothing wrong with Katie?
That doesn't seem to matter, Mr. Ryder. There's something about it being not conclusive. Police have been here twice. A little while ago, men from the district attorney's office came looking for Ted, and that newspaper man came asking questions. You know, the one that wrote that nasty piece about Ted in his column today. Wish I knew where Ted was. He's been gone all morning.
I must call a friend of mine in London, and then I want to talk to Katie and her parents.
Ted Fenimore. Yes, of course, that's the young New York boy who's going to represent the United States over here at Wimbledon next month. I've got 4 box seats for the occasion.
Yeah, you'll see a great player, Ben. That is, if he ever gets to play.
Well, how's that?
Well, he's in trouble. I'm trying to help him, but I can't keep the story out of the papers.
Well, what is the story?
A little girl named Katie Peterson says he molested her. I don't think it's true, but the papers here already have it.
I see. Well, what do you want me to do?
Try and keep the London dailies from playing it up. And if you could, call Collier in Paris and have him do the same there.
I'll do my best, Jeff. Keep in touch.
Right.
I don't want anything.
Oh, excuse me, Mrs. Peterson. I'm a friend of the Fenimores. I'd like to talk to you or your husband about Katie.
Mister, my husband does all the talking in this family, and he's not home.
Well, then may I talk to Katie?
The doctor gave her some medicine. She's asleep.
Hi, you selling something?
No, I just saw your truck outside, and I figured it was a good chance to meet you and your wife. My name is Jeff Ryder. I'm a friend of the Fenimores.
Oh, I'm Ed Forrest. Come on in. Say, that's a crying shame about Ted Fenimore. I told Sue, that's my wife. I don't believe it. Oh, sirree, I just don't believe it. Say, step inside and meet my little baby doll. Hey, Sue, honey, we got company. There's the boss. Mr. Ryder here's a friend of the Fenimores.
How do you do? It's a pleasure, I'm sure. Won't you sit down?
Thank you. Mrs. Forrest, did you happen to see Katie Peterson last night? She has to pass your house, coming and going from the Fenimore place.
You were out there, honey.
I was resting, Ed. Sorry I didn't. I don't pay much attention to the kids. Besides, it's a messy mess, and I like to keep out of it because of my career.
Sue was in show business.
I still am, if you don't mind. I still model.
Would you like me to show Mr. Ryder some of your pictures?
Some other time, huh? I've got to get going.
Oh, sorry I couldn't be of much help.
So am I. Thank you.
Bye-bye, Mr. Ryder. Say, honey, you told me you saw Katie running over to the Fenimores, crying her head off before anything was supposed to have happened. Why didn't you tell Mr. Ryder?
Why stick my neck out? Next thing I know, I'll be called in as witness. Spend days and days with the police, in court, and what else?
Oh, I don't know.
Remember when you had to do jury duty? Lasted 3 weeks, and how you bellyached.
Maybe you're right. Doesn't pay to go looking for trouble.
You Tony Morano?
You want to see me?
Yes. But I want to talk to your mother and Dad first.
Mama, this man wants to talk to me, and you too.
Mrs. Morano, I'd like to ask you a few questions about last night.
I no can tell you anything you not know.
Don't you want to help Ted?
Help him, but how?
Your house is near the Fenimore place. I thought maybe you might have seen something last night that you may not even consider important. What about you, Tony?
Katie got what she deserved, if you ask me. Always tagging after him.
Oh, you shut your mouth. You leave my kids alone. They can't tell you nothing. It is none of our business.
But it is your business, Mrs. Morano. Anything that happens in this community.
You know what is my business? My husband's barber shop. We interfere. Huh. We lose the customers.
You're concerned about Ted. What about me?
What do you think's going to happen?
I don't think. I know. Bright and early this morning, as soon as they saw that column in the paper, the selection committee called me. Ted showed up here. I had to tell him he's off the squad. He's not going to Wimbledon.
You think he did anything wrong?
Too bad about the Fenimore boy. Could have been a big star. But going to Wimbledon's not just playing tennis, it's representing the USA.
You're suddenly real moral. He wrote the column about Ted.
All I said was that it was alleged.
And he hot-footed it down here and gave the boy a real rough time.
Just asked a few pertinent questions.
Near drove the kid nuts. And on top of it, 2 guys from the DA's office picked Ted up for questioning.
How long ago was that?
Hour or so.
Thanks, Coach.
It's Jeff Ryder, isn't it?
Where's Fenimore?
Jeff, I just bought myself a bushel of trouble.
I thought you had Fenimore here.
Had is right. I'll leave him for a moment, and when I get back, he's outside the window, standing on the ledge.
Don't come near me or I'll jump!
Don't jump!
Get back!
He was pretty shaken when we brought him in, but, well, I had to question him.
You mind if I talk to him?
Won't do any good, but sure, go ahead.
Ted. I'm a lawyer. I'd like to help you. We'd like to hear your side of the story. Ted, I believe you're innocent, or I wouldn't be here. Now, why don't you come inside and let's talk about it? You were right.
They're setting up television cameras. See the headlines before you read them.
Well, this is one headline I'd like to keep from happening.
My mother isn't home.
You must be Katie.
Mom went to the market.
Oh. I'd like to wait for her, Katie.
You can't come in. My dad doesn't want me to talk to anybody.
Where is he?
Out.
Would you like to come out here and keep me company until your mother comes?
I don't know. My dad told me not to leave the house.
All right, then. I'll wait by myself.
Are you a friend of my daddy?
No, I don't know your daddy. I'm a friend of Ted's.
He hit me and he tried to choke me. I hate him.
Oh, I thought you liked him. That's what everybody told me.
I hate him.
Didn't you lose this last night, Katie? When you went to see Ted?
Tony told you. He's lying.
Tony told me nothing. But maybe you want to tell me something, Katie. Don't you?
Mommy, I told him he couldn't come in the house, Mama, that Daddy didn't want me to talk to anybody.
Why don't you quit bothering us?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Peterson, but I had to come.
You talk to my husband.
Now, look, this can't wait. I've got to talk to Katie now, and you can help me.
I won't do anything without my husband. Now, if you'll excuse me.
But you don't understand. Ted Fenimore is trying to kill himself.
He what? Not him. He's just putting on an act so he can get off easy.
I'll let you judge for yourself. I don't want you to be frightened, Katie, but I want you to see something.
Traffic has been rerouted and the crowd is being moved back in order that the rescue squad can spread out a net directly below the boy. There you see him, Ted Fenimore, 20-year-old tennis champion. Only a few days ago, he announced his engagement to be married. There he stands, high up on a narrow ledge outside the district attorney's office. Ted Fenimore, a boy with everything to live for, wanting to die.
Ted isn't acting, Mrs. Peterson. You better make Katie realize that before it's too late.
The police are getting the crowd under control now. Wait a minute, something's happening. Who's that with the DA? What's that? Oh, I understand that is Dr. Harold Newman, the noted alienist. He's been rushed over from Bellevue Hospital. There goes one of the officers out to try and get Fenimore in. Dr. Newman is talking to him, trying to reason him out of it and back into safety. The crowd is holding its breath, waiting to see what happens. What a terrible tragedy it will be if
Katie,
this boy's life is wasted.
Tell us what happened last night. Did you get mad at Ted because of what you read in the newspaper?
No,
Katie, wasn't he only trying to calm you down?
Living the active life Fenimore does, the physical strain can sometimes reach breaking point. And of course, only today the papers carry the story of a piece of serious trouble he seems to have gotten himself into. There's not a sound from the crowd now. One or two people have turned their heads away. They cannot bear to watch.
Katie, you don't want Ted to die, do you?
I don't.
Close to me, a woman is praying. The doc is still talking to Fenimore. Fenimore seems to be listening all right. There's the officer, moving out along the ledge. Oh, Fenimore spotted him. We're holding our breaths here. Oh, for one awful moment, we thought he had fallen. The doc is shouting at the officer to get back. They've decided it's hopeless to try and talk him in.
He lied to me. He told me he'd wait for me to grow up, and now he's gonna get married. That's why when Daddy yelled at me, he wanted to know what happened. That's why.
Katie, you've got to tell me. I want to know everything.
But I'm scared.
Don't be afraid to tell the truth, Katie.
I'm scared of my daddy. It'll make him angry, and he's got me all mixed up.
You don't have to be afraid of your father. Not anymore.
Where is he?
He's over at Joe Morano's, having a haircut, making speeches.
I hear he's gonna jump. Let him. What's stopping him?
Maybe the kid don't want to die.
Well, he should have thought of that last night. Those cops were much too lenient. What's that DA doing, playing pinochle? He better not fool around with me.
That's all right. He knows his rights.
Yeah, they call us the backbone of the country. Sure. We're there for paying taxes, fighting wars, sticking our neck out. Yeah, that's us.
No, it ain't that bad, Al. After all, nothing really happened to Katie.
Nothing what?
Well, that's what the doc says.
He's a quack.
Now, let's be fair. After all, it's still Katie's word against Ted Fenimore's.
Are you insinuating that my Katie is a liar?
I didn't say that. But if you ask me...
Who's asking you?
My wife, she always said to me, Joe, don't stick your nose into neighbor's business. She's right, too, you know it. I don't take no sides. I stay out of it, and I'm a happy man.
Oh, sure, that's easy, Joe. but I don't agree with you. A man's got to take a stand.
Now, look, Ed, I want you to know that I taught my daughter Katie to tell the truth and nothing but.
That's what she came here for. Only you never gave her a chance to tell the truth. Don't be afraid, Katie.
What are you doing here, Katie?
Daddy,
Never mind. Who are you, mister?
Go on, Katie. Tell him what you told us. Say it.
Ted didn't hurt me, Father. Honest, he didn't.
Don't blame her. Blame yourself.
Who put you up to this? Mrs. Fenimore paying you off?
Now, wait a minute, Al.
Shut up. Go home to your mother, Katie.
Your wife isn't home. She went to see Mrs. Fenimore.
You heard me. Give me a shave.
You can't be serious. You heard what your daughter said. She wants to tell it to the district attorney.
Just what do you get out of this?
Justice for a boy. Victimized by innocent bystanders who see nothing, hear nothing, and know nothing. Now, come on, Peterson. This is a matter of life and death.
Who are you to tell me what to do? You heard me. Give me a shave.
I wouldn't trust myself with you, with a razor in my hand.
All right, fella, you had your say. I kept quiet too long. You too, Joe. I don't know about the others, but I listened to the missus. Don't get involved, Ed. Don't stick your neck out. I feel as guilty as anybody for this boy being on that ledge. Come on.
It's all right, Ted. Katie told us everything. Her father's here with the district attorney.
Oh, Ted, I'm sorry, Ted. Honest, I am. Please, come in.
I can't move.
Yes, you can. I'll come and help you. Don't look down. Just keep looking at me and give me a hand. Now move slowly. Very slow. Just keep looking at me. One step at a time. Don't look down. Keep looking at me. That's right. That's right. Put your hand on the window. Right.
I don't know who you are, but sure owe you a lot.
Forget it. I'm just a bystander.
Ted!
Goodbye, Katie.
Bye, Mr. Ryder.